I made 3 goals for me this year. One was to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is about to happen. Last time I checked, I was 3 short.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Designer Future podcast. I've got Anthony on today. I actually met Anthony through Facebook and YouTube, essentially, come across his YouTube channel. So I wanted to bring him on just to give some inspiration and motivation, get him to tell us a little bit more about himself, what it is he does, and hopefully bring some serious value to everyone watching and listening. Without further ado, Anthony, please go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
Hey, everybody. I'm Anthony Williams. I own and operate a business here in Gulfport, Mississippi, USA, called AJ Williams Media. What we'd like to do is partner with businesses and creative teams to create highly creative ad campaigns that focus on driving leads, creating brand awareness and brand loyalty through storytelling, through video creation. And we do it, from concept all the way to publication. So and everything in between. So we can handle, the creative side of it, concepting, figuring out who your target market is, and then actually taking those videos and putting it out there to the world so that, we're not just another guy with a camera, we can actually help you get it seen, put eyes on it.
Amazing. So yeah, obviously this is the first time I'm sort of getting a deeper understanding of Anthony and what he does as well, because I've obviously only seen his YouTube videos. So you actually do the Facebook ads? Do you do Facebook ads, or how do you sort of then distribute it for the clients as well?
Yeah, distribution for us, we specialize in Facebook, Instagram. Those are the same company, really. So it's not really a secret. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Those are our 3 main outlets, but we can also venture out and do like Hulu advertising. It's pretty easy to get ads on Hulu and that kind of thing. So whatever you want. We can also do Spotify ads. That's more radio type stuff. I have a background in audio, so doing radio ads is not a big deal for us either.
Amazing. So yeah, briefly touching on your background, talk to me a little bit about, what it was you was doing beforehand. And I know you said it's not recent, but it's pretty recent that you started your own company. So talk to me a little bit about where you sort of started and how you progressed into starting your own company.
Sure. That's actually an interesting story. I started working in my church through audio. Like I said, I have background in audio. Before I worked at my church, I had a job at a radio station as a DJ, and kind of got my feet wet in the audio world. But I've always been a musician. So I play guitar. And so I was just interested in doing that. And just through doing that, growing up playing instruments and recording myself onto, those little cassette tapes and then redubbing and everything, I was a little nerd kid. But so just through that and learning more and more, I got into audio and started working at a radio station. Then I moved and went to school, got my degree in electrical engineering. As soon as I finished that, I said, forget it. I don't want to do electrical engineering anymore. I got hired onto my church doing audio stuff, and pretty quickly realized that they needed help with graphics as well. So I was doing audio, mixing an album for my church that actually got released and did pretty well. I think I don't know how many records we sold, but so I won't even try to guess. But we did that, and I started working in audio. So I mean in graphic design. So pretty soon after pretty soon after I did that, I mixed those two, and that equals video creation and animation. So I started working in After Effects and Premiere Pro, and got my feet wet in that. Pretty soon after that, I was getting requests to create commercials for people in the church, and those started getting attention. So about 2 years ago, I've officially created an LLC for my company, called it AJ Williams Media. And just maybe 2 months ago, went full time. I quit my job at the church. So now it's just AJ Williams Media that I'm doing. So I'm excited about that. And the YouTube channel and everything that I do as far as social media is geared towards the viewer and helping you guys make better videos. So from my background, learning all of that stuff just kind of on my own. I didn't go to school for video creation or anything. I went to school for electrical engineering, which gives me a kind of different look on everything. That's why I'm so into gear, and um, I love the technical aspect of video creation as well as the creative side. But it gives me kind of a different perspective as well.
For sure, for sure. And just with that sort of backstory, how I'm trying to figure out how I want to put this. Going from like an audio background, right, where you're so focused on audio and just simply focusing on audio, was it a weird transition to then be like, oh, like I've now got to deal with the video side of things? And because obviously they're two different worlds, I know they sort of collide as well, but when you're so focused on doing one thing, how was it sort of bringing those two worlds together?
Honestly, I think it kind of helps because when I'm stuck on a visual aspect, I focus on the audio aspect. And then once the audio sounds right, the video kind of clicks.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? It's
For
to
sure.
me, you've heard it said that, audio is half of a video. Uh, I actually think it's more than that. I think it's more like 90%. I think if the audio is right, it almost doesn't matter what the video looks like. You can get a lot wrong on the
Mhm.
video if the audio is perfect.
I
But,
agree.
this is my take. But so I think having that background in audio first makes me a better storyteller.
Yeah.
Because then the video, the visual aspect of it is supplemental to what you're already getting informationally wise in the audio.
Amazing, amazing. So talk to me a little bit more about the storytelling side of things, because it's all, yeah, it's easy. When I say easy, it's not easy making YouTube videos, but when you can actually sit down and tell a story through your videos, I think they're the type of creators that I'm hooked on. So what do you sort of what do you sort of go with when you're trying to, like, do you script your videos, or is it sort of like, okay, I've got a general outline of what I want to do? How do you sort of work around starting from like a baseline making the videos?
Yeah, so it always starts off with an idea, but it is a mix of like scripting and outline. So uh, if I'm doing an informational type of video, like I just released, my last video was on how to replace a sky in a video on YouTube. You can go watch that right now. Short little plug for my
Yeah.
YouTube channel. But
Plug it away, man. Plug it away.
but yeah, I scripted the beginning and the end of that video, and then everything else was just, I knew what I had to say, and I actually just kind of talked through it as I was creating it. And the story for that is, you start off with one piece of content that's a little bit boring, and then you finish with this other thing. So, a little bit that's a little bit more interesting, and the story follows from, you know, incomplete to completion. So that, I mean, it's a basic story, but there's still a story involved in it. I've actually got some stuff written up on my dry erase board right now. I'm always trying to get better with storytelling. I'm trying to figure out how to have some kind of character,
Mhm.
and add some kind of, you know conflict in the story, so that that conflict can be resolved, because those are the kind of stories that really grab your attention and keep you for the entire time.
Amazing, amazing, man, amazing. So yeah, I know that you're just about to hit 1,000 subscribers, so congratulations for that. Has that had an impact on the business? So like you said, you've started your own business. I know, like, this is sort of like your personal brand, and you're not really making content around your client work and stuff like that. It's solely, like you said, to help your audience also create better content. But has the YouTube channel, although, because people always come to me and they're like, how do you make money on YouTube? And you're like, look, you haven't got to have thousands and thousands of subscribers and be part of the YouTube partner program to earn money from YouTube. So I'm guessing for a fact that you've been making money through these videos in some means. So just break that down for people, how it helps you sort of gain clients and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I look at all of my social media channels as kind of advertising for the business. So it seems like every time I get super hyperactive on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, I get clients that see those, or potential clients. I get leads based on my activity on social media. So that's the the biggest way that I make money is the leads that come in, the jobs that I get, the clients that pique interest in the business through those social media avenues. Um, but also affiliate links. I mean, you've heard it said, Amazon is a really great place to get affiliate links. I made a video on how to use lights. The new light that I got, the light that I'm using right now is the Godox VL 150, I believe.
Mhm.
And I made a video about that when I got it, kind of a first look unboxing, my initial thoughts, and left a link to it down in the description. And I've probably made a couple $100 just off of the affiliate link from that video. But also, when you have those affiliate links, it's kind of like fishing. It's, when you go fishing, you might go fishing for a certain type of fish, but you might also catch all these different kinds of fish. So, I went fishing for, people who wanted to buy the VL 150, but I also got people that bought, RAM for their computer.
And you can track that as well, because that's one of the amazing things. Is I've had that before. Is like I've had things come up, and it's like someone bought a TV, and I'm like, I've never had a TV put into any of my videos. But for anyone that doesn't know, with Amazon, I think it's 48 hours. I think, don't quote me on that. Have to do your research. But if someone clicks on Anthony's link in his video, clicks on the product and says, "Oh, okay, right, cool product, but it's not something I'm going to buy at this moment in time." But then the next day thinks, oh, "Okay, I'm finally going to pull the trigger on the new smart TV I wanted to buy. This £1,000 on Amazon." Anthony will get a cut of that TV, even though he wasn't directly promoting it. So yeah, that's a really good point there, man. Next thing I'd like to go on to is what's motivating you now, because obviously, like you said, you started your own business, you've come away from working the church, sort of getting out of that normal work sort of load, if you like. What's sort of motivating you moving forward, especially with the YouTube as well?
So for YouTube, it's all about, sharing my knowledge. I want to get my knowledge out there, to help people make better videos. That's really the main motivation. Um, all of my channel art, all of the branding is around make better videos. So if you're, it doesn't really matter to me where you are in the video creation process, whether you're a beginner or a pro. Um, there's always something else to learn. There's always a new method. There's always, you might be great with getting b-roll footage, but you might suck at storytelling, so I want to put some story in there. You might be great at storytelling, but you're not as good with b-roll, but you might be able to learn a little bit. So that's really the motivation there, and the motivation behind the business. um, it, and that's really kind of my area, like the location. I want to make where I am look really good. There's a lot of places around here. I live in the South Mississippi, about 5 minutes from the beach. I can, my running route is actually, I can run to the beach and home, and I think that's like 5 miles. So I live like maybe 2.5 miles from the beach. Um,
Nice.
so it's a 2 to 5 minute drive in nice conditions. It's a really nice area, but I don't feel like there's a whole lot of spotlight on it. And
Sure.
it's really developing a whole lot. So, that's really my motivation there. And also to tell stories. I love telling stories. So the businesses that I feel like are doing a really good job, and providing a really good service and doing really good things with charities and that kind of thing. I love being able to promote those kind of things. So uh, I love talking to people that are doing those things, and I love just hanging out with business owners and just feeling that whole vibe. Uh, that's really
Amazing.
a big motivation for me.
Amazing, man. Amazing. It sounds like you need to get in touch with some real estate agents in the area, making some of their properties look even better with some of your content. Let's imagine that I was to come in and get into your phone somehow, and I was to delete 3 apps from your phone. what would those three apps be? If I was to delete them from your phone, you would really struggle with tomorrow in terms of running your business and running the YouTube channel. Today's episode is brought to you by Lead Pages. Now, Lead Pages is the application I use to create all of my funnels for all of my clients and my personal brand. At the moment, you can get a free 14-day trial with the link I have put below. Shoot me a message and I will send you all of my templates. You can literally just copy and paste every funnel that I have within my business. Shoot me a message on Instagram and I will send you them over.
YouTube Studio. Do not delete my YouTube Studio off of my phone. Let's see, what are the apps that I use the most? That's a good one. So there's Twitter, YouTube Studio, Dropbox. Probably the three apps would be YouTube Studio, Dropbox, and Google Drive. Like the content is the king. So where I keep all of my footage and assets and all that is Dropbox and Google Drive. If you deleted those off my phone, I'd struggle.
So sorry, just from like an outsider's point of view, because this is a really good. I think we're about to go on something really good here, because in terms of like a creator, so what are you doing with these files on your phone? Because like for me, for example, I don't really use my phone when it comes to like content creation in a sense, like unless I'm using the phone itself, taking a picture and uploading it to Instagram or something like that. Whenever I'm creating a video or something, my phone is basically locked away and it's like focusing on my camera. So talk to me a little bit about your like sort of process when it comes to organizing your footage and stuff like that.
Yeah, so organization is huge. If you don't have a good system in organization, then you really can't take on multiple clients at the same time. So what I do is I have, actually, I'll go through it right now. I'll show, let's see. So I've got my external hard drives that I use. Then I've always got a folder called media. So that's where I keep all of my media. And in that side, inside of that folder, I've got things like AJ Williams Media, which is just assets for the business. I've got B-roll, which is mostly stuff that I'll sell like stock footage on. I've got a folder called clients, which holds all of my clients by name in order. I've got downloaded for inside of media, which has like all of my assets from Epidemic Sound. I've got icons that I've downloaded, like logos for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, things that I might put on a photo, personal stuff. And then I've got a folder called YouTube, and that's where all of my YouTube content is, all of my assets for that as well. And in my clients, like I said, I've got all my clients listed out. If I go to a client that that is a recurring client, you'll see a folder in there with the year.
Sure.
So that I can go to any year, and as long as that content is still there, I haven't offloaded it to some kind of cloud service or to a server or something like that, I'll still have it on that drive. And then all of those projects that I did for that year is inside of that folder. And that's the way that I use Dropbox and Drive as well. Drive for me is more of a documents folder. So I'll put things like scripts.
Okay, cool.
You know, the process, the what is it called? The brand breakdowns of the businesses. Because in the conception meeting, we usually come up with some kind of a ideal client brand strategy type of thing. So I'll keep that content inside a drive in a documents folder. And then Dropbox is where I keep all of my videos and photos and all that kind of stuff. So if I wanted to post a video to, say, Instagram, or post a photo to Instagram, I would go to Dropbox and I could look at all of those things in the same order that I organized, all of my external hard drives, and be able to just find something really quickly and post it to Instagram or post it to YouTube. I actually did that yesterday. I was going to show a client or show a group some examples of my work, and I realized that one of the commercials that I wanted to show was not uploaded to YouTube. So I went into Dropbox real quick, grabbed that, downloaded it to my phone, uploaded it to YouTube, kept it as unlisted, but I was able to send them a link. So
Mhm. Yeah, and I think that's one thing that people don't, obviously people don't see it because they're unlisted videos, but I have so many videos on YouTube that are unlisted, and they're for the purpose of like what Anthony just said. I have like all of my onboarding funnels are all distributed through YouTube. So YouTube is such a powerful platform, even underneath like the whole getting views, getting subscribers and stuff like that. So um you mentioned your channel is all around helping creators, make better videos. But if you was to really pull it back and give one bit of advice in terms of a book that you've read in the past, or an online course you've done, or something along those lines, when it comes to either starting the business or content creation, is there something that sort of stands out for you?
sorry. Yeah. Um, yeah. The best book that I've read recently, and it's more to do with like, um, business leadership actually. It's all about how Disney got started with, running the parks and everything. It's by Lee Cockrell. It's called Making Magic Happen.
Okay.
That's one of the best books that I've read as far as creative business ownership ever. It gives you in the mind of a CEO running a creative business rather than a creative running a business.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
um,
I'll have to check that out. I've never heard of that one. And while you're on that, when it comes to, being a creator and trying to run a business, I'm guessing I'm guessing that you've had to sort of take yourself out of the business in a sense in certain situations. So how has that been? Have you had to like delegate work? Have you had to bring on team members to fulfill some of these clients' work? And how is it being the creator and sort of having to let go of that responsibility in a sense?
Yeah, so the stuff that I tend to let go of is more administrative. My wife helps me out with the business side of everything a lot. She takes care of the finances, and a lot of the business stuff, like making sure that our license is still up to date and good. But as far as some of the creative stuff I've had to let go of, I still keep a really tight eye on it. Um, I do occasionally send out projects to be edited by other editors, and um, I haven't actually hired a videographer for any project yet, but I'm not opposed to that. Um,
Sure.
the thing is, making sure that you've got creative freedom to be able to tell people uh, what your vision is. I think the thing is, number one is to have a clear vision for what your final product needs to look like and be able to explain it well, and then being able to have input while the process is going on rather than just putting input in once they're finished,
Sure.
because that there's nothing worse. As a video editor, you could probably attest, there's nothing worse than feeling like you're finished and then hearing back from the client and saying, hey, can we change XYZ?
I need to touch on this. I literally just got an email for a fourth revision of an edit that I finished last week. So yeah, very, very relevant. I'm actually going to have to finish that after I come back from my client stuff later. Do you use ClickFunnels at all?
I haven't used ClickFunnels yet, but I'm willing to learn, and I don't know. It's not something that I've had to do yet. I don't really sell a whole lot of digital assets, but it is something that I'm gonna be getting into here in the near future.
Wicked, wicked. And do you use cold email at all?
I stopped using cold emails because I didn't feel like they were working. Um, I feel like emails they were really good, and like getting, if you did it right, you could get a lot of open rate and all that kind of stuff. I looked into it, but at the time I was also starting my YouTube channel and trying to push it really hard, so I didn't really have time to get into it a whole lot.
Sure.
What I'm really interested in though is the new texting app that you can get, um, to text multiple people, and you can have that conversation through a number that's not your, personal cell number.
Sure, yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. So with that sort of being said, with the cold email and stuff like that, what would be your biggest advice for, let's say like a content creator that's, you know, already established their self as a content creator doing their own personal videos, but they've now sort of thought, okay, cool, I could do this for other people, this is something that people will pay me for. What would be your advice to sort of go out there and get their first paying client?
So if you're already established as a video creator or content creator, I feel like it's actually easier than you think to get your first paying client. If you've got work out there, you've got a library of stuff that you've already done and it's good, then people should be asking you already to do their stuff if they know you exist.
Hmm.
If they don't know you exist, put an ad out there. You know, put $30 into an Instagram ad or put $30 into a Facebook ad and just see who's out there. You've probably got friends that own businesses and will be willing to spend $100 to get you to do something. Do it for cheap at first, and then as you get more interest, raise your prices. So once you do a video for $100, and they come back and say, this guy did incredible work, have them write a review for you, raise your price to $200. Keep doubling your price until people go, I don't know if I can afford that. That's when you know you've hit the sweet spot.
Amazing, amazing. And when they do say, "Oh, I don't know if I can afford that," you say, "Okay, no worries. I'll see you next month." That's really cool, man. Obviously, the podcast is Design of Future, so I'd love to know a little bit more about where you're hoping to be within sort of the next 12 months.
Yeah, so the next 12 months look really good for me. I've done some projections, and I've I made 3 goals for me this year. One was to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is about to happen. Last time I checked, I was 3 short. So
Go
997.
subscribe, people. Go subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one was to double my income from the business last year, which we hit last month. And the next one was to onboard, I don't remember if I said 1 or 3, um, retainer clients, but we've onboarded 1 retainer client with a high probability of onboarding a second retainer client. So all 3 of those goals are about to be hit in this year, even with COVID going on. And for next year, we're looking at trying to double our income again, and keep retaining those 3 retainer clients, and kind of just doing a really good job there. But also for the YouTube channel, I think we'll try to double again and go to at least 2,000. I might raise that goal to 5,000. We'll see. I don't know what'll happen.
Amazing, man. Amazing. We keep creating that amazing content, and I'm sure it will happen for sure. Um, just to pick your brain before we finish off, just because you touched on something there, for the people watching and listening that don't know what a retainer is, could you sort of explain how, yeah, or sorry, the difference in terms of you just going and creating a video for, a business and you having a client on a retainer basis?
Yeah, so a retainer looks like to me, uh, somebody that wants to put out content on a consistent level. And they may even have their own gear. They may even have their own, studio setup that they use, but they record it and they might even edit it, but I'll take that content and create micro content, or I might create a full video from it. But it all looks different to a lot of people, and that's something that we come up with during our creative meeting in the beginning, whenever we're setting out our goals for the project. But I've got a retainer client that I take footage that they capture and I create a YouTube video that goes to YouTube. I put it on Vimeo, which also links to their mobile app. And then I do micro content from that video, just dry pieces of maybe, 2 to 4 minutes of video, and give it to them and they post it just like that. But I'll also take those micro content pieces and kind of boost it up with some music, some captions and that kind of thing. So it's actually about 1.5 days of work for that whole thing, and they've got content for the entire week. So that's the retainer client that I have now. And I'm working on another retainer client that's kind of the same, except I'm actually going to be the one recording and creating the content from scratch. So it's, every client is different when it comes to everything we do. That's why we're creatives, right?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, that is the thing with this whole crazy world, is like no client is the same. Everyone can come to you with a different scenario. And like Anthony just said, some people come to me and they're like, look, we've made this content, we made this content, and then some people is like, I've never made any content in my life, like I have no idea what I'm doing, I need your help. So it's really cool to see that difference in people as well, because a lot of people, when they come to me, they'll come and be so excited to create content, and they're willing to get in front of the camera or to use their camera to create content. But a lot of people just need that guidance. They need assistance when actually putting everything together. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on, man. I'm going to leave Anthony's YouTube channel linked below. Definitely go and subscribe to his channel. Like he said, he's about to hit that 1,000 subscribers. Got lots of valuable content on there. I'm obviously a big Final Cut man, so I can't really give you any value when it comes to Premiere Pro. Head over to Anthony's channel. He's got lots of content on there for Premiere Pro. Any final words, Anthony?
Keep creating, keep making stuff, do it better the next time.
I love that, man. Guys, thank you for watching and listening, and I shall see you in the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.
Hollywood 6.